live stream. My name is Michael, and man, guys, are you ready? Are you ready? Because we're at the cusp of another massive wave for Bitcoin, right? Prices can go up to, I would say, $48,000 by the end of this month. Things are looking like they're poised to look really good. Especially, we're gonna give you basically three. Actually, I'm putting my fingers four, three, four. Man, it's really late for me. But let's give you three big reasons why things are going up, including some things that are going on Tether, including stuff that's going on with funds, including stuff that is going on with regulation. All of these are blowing up to make a second massive rally for Bitcoin that is coming by the end of this week. We'll also address some concerns because some of you guys are concerned. Some of you guys are worried that we're going to have a little bit of a pullback before everything happens. We're going to look at the two possible scenarios that this is going to happen. So yes, this is going to be a super exciting episode. We're going to look at the news as well. This is what we do on these live streams. We're resuming these box mining live streams, so make sure you stay tuned. Smash up the like button. Smash up. There's that little subscribe button that you can see on all videos. Let's see. Let's just see if I can switch these really quickly. But yes, if you see that, there's a little subscribe button that you can have to subscribe and get notified of all events. Well, there you go. If you subscribe to all, that will show you when the live streams are going to go. But anyways, we're talking about everything, all the news, all these predictions, everything. This is my personal opinion, not financial advice. Let's get started. Hey. Yeah, I'm trying to get everything sorted out, but let's look at the market first of all. That's usually what we do on this channel, but I just want to say big thank you for tuning in on the stream, guys. Hello, Champney. Hello, Box. Hello, Angelo, Wang. Hello, all. I know it takes a little bit of a while for people to filter in, but let's get right at it. So we do see the markets just, well, it's both red and green today. All right. There's quite a few pullbacks from coins that were massively pushing up over last week. So like what rings a bell? FTT, okay, down 9%. But sure, it's down 9%, but it was up ridiculous last week, right? It was up 188% last week. So yes, this week pulling back a little bit is absolutely normal. It's expected. And to be honest, the pullback that we're seeing this week, tiny, which is what got me very freaked out this weekend. Because look at coins like Solana, the endless push, right? People thought Solana, we're gonna show you a FUD article on what was happening with Solana, right? But the pullback is nowhere near as much as how much it moved, right? It was up 39% in the last week. This month is up 153% on these big cap coins. This is causing the FOMO, right? This is causing FOMO. Sure, we have a little bit of a pullback on these coins right here, but the FOMO is here. People are looking for different coins that are following the narrative, right? This weekend, we actually saw a narrative with these DeFi chain coins that are moving up, and which is why we're seeing TIA move up. We're seeing AVAX was moving up a little bit this weekend. Matic is up enormously as well. So I wouldn't just look at today's data to get a sense of what's happening. I would look and take a look at the bigger picture because FOMO is coming. Now let's bring you guys to the biggest news first and foremost, right? Which is what could likely move cryptocurrencies up. This is Tether. Tether minted 4 billion USDT in 4 weeks, right? So Tether, the way they work is that they turn when people want to invest into crypto, they buy Tether, right? And what they do is that investors, they deposit money into the banks of Tether, and then Tether gives them the on-chain USDT token. Now, when Tether mints, right, this is not a mistake. Right, people have noticed this. This Whale Alert posted this up, notifying that Tether's minting, Tether's creating more tokens, billions and billions of dollars are minted. The CEO responded, okay, this is not and this is not this is an authorized but not issued transaction, meaning that this amount will be used for inventory for the next period issuance request and chain swaps. Okay, so Tether CEO is saying, Tether CEO is saying, look, we haven't received the money yet. All right, for this Tether, this is not a mistake. We haven't received the money yet, but they're getting ready. All right, they're preparing. Right, this is massive preparation for what's coming. Right, and this is like Tether doesn't do this all the time. If you actually look at the pattern of which Tether mints tokens, they only do this when they expect a massive influx of people depositing money and then sending out. They don't want to like issue it every time, right? They don't want to issue it and press the button every time. They want to get ready. And this is Tether just readying up their guns. Think about this as like loading up ammunition, right? Tether is just stockpiling the ammunition, and then when things fly, it's gonna just it is gonna go nuts, guys. It's gonna go nuts. It's gonna go beyond what we've seen before. So that is one bit of ammunition. It's one bit of data that we see, on-chain data that we see, evidence that there's this expectation that something huge is going to come. Second of all, second news that's quite important that you guys should look at is institutional capital, right? We've been saying that the big money, the $1 trillion asset funds, or the big family offices, that they're coming in. Well, now we have more evidence of it. Basically, there's been analysis done of how much these funds are accumulating, and they're up double. Right? And I see this in firsthand as well. I see a lot more funds being raised this year to buy cryptocurrencies. This is especially prevalent in Hong Kong, because in Hong Kong, if you know what's happening in Asia, is that Asia is finally waking up. The giant that was Asia that was sleeping because China banned Bitcoin in 2017. Well, China had a change of heart, right? So here in Hong Kong, we're part of China, but it's one country, two systems. So we're allowed to experiment with crypto, and the government is going crazy. If you actually saw on my channel what was going on with the FinTech week that was happening in Hong Kong, I showed you guys this on a same day video edit, right? Boxmining. Let's see this one. Boxmining this one. Let's see which video this is. I didn't expect this. This was Hong Kong FinTech Week, but people there, normally big bankers are here, but they were like jumping into the Animoca booth. It was popping there, right? You can see all those banks at the front, like the DBSs, the HSBCs, the Standard Charters. They had booths, but the Animoca booth was popping. The first regulated exchange in Hong Kong, that was moving. So money's moving in. There's also new funds moving in as well. There is actually like Emperor Group. They're actually setting up their own fund as well. There's different institutions basically plowing into crypto, setting up their own crypto funds to invest into crypto, Bitcoin, and just having a holding. So that is actually super exciting for us here. So this is why I see, even though, sure, this today, the bubbles don't look as exciting as last week, but the momentum is here, double. Right, the research is that there's double the number of funds in institutional capital, and institutional capital, they're much better at holding. Right, this is that FOMO period that we can see before. I would say honestly, if you're talking about institutional capital, there's a lot more interest now than before, and I don't think 200%. Sorry, not 200%, but not 99% is the end goal here. Right. That's not the end goal. The end goal is when that Bitcoin ETF comes. And we know that right now, why Bitcoin moved last week was because of this window of opportunity for the SEC to approve the ETF early. Right? That moment, that opportunity started. It could, all right, be this week or next week, but January the 10th is the real date we're looking out for. January 10th of next year, that is when things are really going to pop. So now that we have all this information, the last bit of information that we have to have, but this is a quick mention, but it's quite important too. The Korean exchange Bithumb, right? They're expecting to list, or they're planning to be the first crypto exchange to be listed on the Korean stock market. This is also quite huge. Why? Because this actually signifies this transition of crypto from being a kind of a cult mini, like a gimmicky sort of deal to becoming a massive global Asian global regulated crazy money, it's crazy institutional money wealth buildup area. This is quite insane because BitThumb, if you look at it, like Korea was one of the top places to trade crypto all the way back in 2017. They were the ones that jump started that 2017 run. They took out more trade volume than the traditional stock market. So this is just flipping now. Stock markets just listing these big crypto exchanges, regulation. Good or bad, you love it or hate it, it is coming. But what it signifies is that it signifies huge amounts of institutional capital coming in to crypto. So, guys, I would still say, guys, just before we jump into institutional capital or anything, right now is the best time to keep your crypto safe. Today, I actually was talking to Justin, my friend, and he just had a big box of private keys. Like, guys, it's time to keep your own cryptocurrency safe. We're not institutional investors. We get the opportunity, we get the privilege of keeping our own crypto. Please use that right because it's gonna be amazing. We got Fire Up says, are you going to this Singapore FinTech Festival? It's a huge event. It's this week. So unfortunately, I can't go this week. So this week, I actually have one event lined up, which is the ICP Hub. I'm helping them open them. I'm basically partnering with them to open their event up. So unfortunately, I can't actually leave Hong Kong this week. But I'll try to attend as many events in Asia as I possibly can. There's also Game On event this week, which I'm speaking at. So Game On is a game focused event which actually has the huge politicians from Hong Kong coming in to figure out what's happening. So that's this week, as well as organized by Mage Spire. We're also helping them organize some of the events and panels as well. But I have a panel there coming on this week. So yeah, if you guys are in Hong Kong, make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you check out what is happening with Game On Hong Kong. Where's my picture? I'm trying to find. Oh, there's my most punchable face. So yes, that's why I can't leave Hong Kong right now, but there's plenty of action happening here. Now, let's talk a little bit about Bitcoin and where it's at. So right now, we're sitting comfortably at $36,000. Let's just take it for a 1 hour chart right here. So here it's not as clear as Ethereum, but we touched 30. I'm drawing my support line at around 36,500 here. We may or may not touch this line again. This is our first line support. It could be possible, and this is one of the scenarios that basically the big event coming up this week is the CPI. CPI data is coming on the 14th of November. And once that data comes, if inflation is not going to be crazy, then things are going to fly. Right, because money flowing back into stocks and crypto, that is going to be crazy. If things are going to be bad, well, crypto is always a hedge, so that means that the pump will be next year, right? That's the crypto way of thinking about things. But it could be the case that after CPI, all the FUD clears up. There's a little bit of FUD here. Let me just change the color of my pen. But it could be the case that the FUD clears up and then we fly. All right, and then let me just change the scales. I have two basic resistances that we saw for Bitcoin, and we just go and take a look at the day view here. So it could be the case that we go fly all the way up to 40K, and then we hit our first resistance. But once that happens, it could be the case that we fly all the way up to $48,000. Like, if you look at the capital building up and the flow, that's the direction we're going to go. And we're running out of time before January. January is when the ETF is expected to happen. And once that happens, right, then that's going to be a huge race. If you look at the ETFs that are pending, ETF Bitcoin, it's not just one entity setting up Bitcoin ETFs, right? Bitcoin ETF dates. That's a better search. All right, that's what you want to see here. But it's not one entity, right? So it's ARK shares, it's iShares, it's Bitwise, Van Eck, Wisdom Tree, Investco, Wise Origin, Valkyrie. right? So the expectation, what the prediction for these ETFs is that the SEC will approve them in very quick sections of each other because they don't want to show favoritism to a particular ETF. If that is the case, then all these ETFs will try to compete for institutional capital. That means they're going to have to do PR. They're going to have to just hype it up to institutional investors so that their funds get money, right? And when that happens, right, that's going to create FOMO. Right, this is one of the biggest catalysts that could be possible for Bitcoin. We've been like the news of the Bitcoin ETF, like fake news of Bitcoin ETF pumped the prices by 10%. What will a real ETF do, right? And this is a long-term factor as well, giving a lot of institutional fund managers, and we talked about fund managers in the past. They have no balls. Right. Like at the end of the day, this is the key issue here. They're waiting for a first mover. A lot of fund managers, they're waiting for a first mover, and then they're gonna just all pile in. All right. This was something I've discovered about the traditional financial investment scene because they're spineless. They don't want to be blamed if something goes wrong. But if all the peers are doing it and then something goes wrong or something goes well, they're absolutely fine with it. They just don't want to be singled as out as that one crazy guy, unlike Michael Saylor, who is fearless, right? But most fund managers are spineless, and which is why they get into deals later than us. This is when we have the advantage here, guys. So that is one of the possible scenarios for Bitcoin. Now, there could be a second scenario too. There could be a second scenario, which is something that people are afraid of. Delete H6 drawings here. So actually, don't delete that. Just delete. There could be a second scenario here. The second scenario could be that we take a little bit of a dump. All right. It could be the case that Bitcoin dips below. Right now, we fall below that $36,000. Right, when we meet some previous supports. Right, this is something that some people want. Right, think about this. Some people in the market, they also want to say this because they want cheaper Bitcoin. They want cheaper Bitcoin. It could be the case that Bitcoin falls to $33,000. That was one of the previous supports here. Or it could be a case we can reach maybe to 29,000. It could be. But the longer that we stay above 36, the less likely this is going to happen and the less it's going to dump because the FOMO is going to set in. Right, we have the first wave here, and there was a lot of FOMO that was on the market. So it could be the case that the second scenario is that we dip a little bit before moving up to this line and then up to here. Again, that could be a second possible scenario. Zendagi Photo says, everyone getting all bearish after a few days of sideways. I'm dying laughing my ass off. Absolutely. Like, I was expecting, to be honest, that the pullback, I was expecting the pullback to be a little bit stronger. If you've been with us for 2017 and 2020, there were these massive pullbacks that made people really question their existence. We haven't seen that yet. That could be possible, right? 100% possible, 1000% possible. Could be one of the cases there. But that being said, of course, there is very little time for that dump to happen. That window for this dump to happen, I think about the players that could play in this dump, right? It could be exchanges that could be doing this manipulation, right? Who are the big players? There could be some big whales trying to plot a massive dump to liquidate some longs before we move all the way up. It could be these market makers too that could be doing this, right? But that window to do this is shrinking day by day. They're seeing that FOMO because once they're close to ETF time, all right, then it's extremely dangerous to short the market. Extremely dangerous because once that approval comes, we're gonna see Bitcoin just fly. All right, we know we got previews of this, of how it can move. So then that window of opportunity to crash that market is really this week and early next week. All right, there's not much data. It could be that I can try to crash the market before the CPI comes out, or if the CPI data turns out to be bad, it could be the crash then. That's pretty much if you think about it from a manipulator's perspective, those are really the two big times that this could happen. All right, so let's move on to news. Let's wait very quickly. Let's look at Ethereum too as well before we move on. ETH, Ethereum, US dollar. Uh, Ethereum, US dollar, Binance. Oh man. Okay. There wasn't too much to say about Ethereum other than there's a lot of Ethereum. Ethereum was quite interesting because it bounced many times. I think the biggest note here is that it really bounced on the support quite a few times. Unlike Bitcoin, which um, didn't really bounce, the Ethereum's bouncing like mad. It's like a pebble. It's just like constantly bouncing point on that support, which is extremely interesting because for me, right, that's showing how strong it is. It's just some big whale is setting a big massive buy order. Say, yeah, every time Bitcoin dips below 2K, buy, right? So the dumpers just can't crash Ethereum below $2,000. And there's a lot going through Ethereum as well because DeFi, that narrative is it's poised to come back, right? And we can see the early signs of this. Let's go. Let's just take a look at Solana, for instance. Right. This was a very interesting post about Solana because there was a lot going against Solana, and which is one of the reasons why Solana dumped heavily from $250 all the way down to 19. Right. That's more than 90% dump on Solana, but those reasons, right, cannot be sustained for too long because Solana's still developing. It's superficially dumped, right? So if you look at this person trying to FUD Solana, he's saying, okay, number one, the major reasons for not buying into Sol, DeFi is struggling, TVL is not really going up. He's also saying that the biggest three cheerleaders, basically VCs who pumped into Solana, say for example Jump or Multi-Coin Capital, they won't touch Solana again. There is also number three, the dump selling from the estate of FTX because FTX owns $79 million of Solana. That's 17% of the supply. There's unsustainable economics there. Basically, Solana's not generating that much money. And then, of course, the experimental design of Solana. So he's listing out as many reasons for Solana to not pump as possible. But what does Solana do, right? What does Solana do? Solana just keeps pumping, right? Like if you look at the past 30 days, it went from $21 all the way to 55. That is showing a lot of strength in these markets. That is showing, yo, look, if it pumped to like there are people who are bearish on Solana. All right, let me tell you, there was one person who was working at a particular exchange. He was very bearish about Solana. He decided to put up a giant short at $40. Right, he thought, hey, $40. Right, look at all these reasons. Right, he probably had this list printed on his freaking wall. Right, he's like, yo, it's got DeFi struggling. It's got biggest cheerleaders. They're not really buying any more. Bankruptcy is from the estate. Unsustainable economics. Oh, it's a big freaking con too, man. So he's thinking, all right, let's just short this at $40. But now it's at 50. Actually, not 50. It's at 55. But the fact that it jumped to 60 liquidated his position. Right. This is why this market is a lot stronger than a lot of people think, and this is why bears are getting destroyed left, right, and center because this market is stronger. And this recovery for Solana is stronger than most people expect. So yeah, bears are gonna get like they're not going to see a good time, especially Sifu. Sifu made a massive short on Ethereum. It could be the case that he gets liquidated on his short, which is yikes. I hope Sifu wakes up one day. Right. So I found this overall quite interesting just because just how much people want to prevent Solana from moving and how much Solana is trying Solana is not dumping, right? I think that is a big indicator. If you guys haven't seen it, I think that is one of the biggest indicators of this market. All right, let me just answer some Q&A and see what you guys are up to. Let's see what else you guys want to see. Let's Z Paul says, I need Neo to pump. It's been stagnant forever. I actually see a lot of action happening with China coins, actually, to be honest. The Chinese, like I said, they are waiting to come back, but it's a situation where they were very unsure of what was happening in the States, right? like the bulls tried to pump and then it didn't happen. But if you actually look at what is happening this week, we actually see a huge amount of motion. Look at Celestia moving. Filecoin is one of the biggest Chinese invested coins. They have a huge presence in China that is moving up. Baguette, well, they got a lot of Chinese traders. We also have let's see who else was there. ICP, they're also up as well. So I actually see like look at ICP, right? Look at the movements on ICP. All right, they're just continuously moving up, right? ICP has huge amounts of interest in China, and they're just creeping up, right? Creeping up, creeping up. Neo is also the same case. So I feel like this is a situation where Chinese were testing the waters, but now that they see, hey, the waters are pretty good. It's pretty good down here. That is when things can get exciting. Let me see if my screen is actually. Oh my god, I actually didn't show my screen, which is embarrassing. But look at so yeah. So let's just show you guys the ICP charts again because I was on the wrong screen. But yeah, just continuing moving from $3 all the way up to 4. Right, very just very solid growth. Right. And then the same thing goes with Neo. Neo had a spurt. Neo had a blast. Let me check out VeChain. Let's see how VeChain is doing. But a lot of these projects in China, they have a huge following, and they have a huge war chest as well. Like VeChain's war chest is just massive. So just look at that, right? The past 30 days, it's also been continuously moving up from 1 cent 60 all the way to 2 cents, right? It's just creeping. It's creeping. A lot of these Chinese projects are creeping. So yeah. ICP will do well. I see there's a lot of ICP supporters here. Costco Kid says Neo Gas dump, but this is expected, right? Neo Gas moved too fast, right? Like anything that moves too fast, it can get dumped, right? Especially like there could be a case where someone just sees the market like like let's say a big Neo holder, they log on their accounts, they're like, oh, gas was $5 and then pumped to $28, right? Why don't they just dump their gas, right? It could be that some Neo holders are doing that, just waking up, oh wow, like there's hundreds and thousands of dollars of gas here, why not just dump it, right? That could be one of the reactions that's happening, right? Which is why this is completely expected, but as a matter of fact, I still believe gas at $10 is not bad, right? So, yes, very interesting. So I do see a lot of movement and action, actually going on in this space. So, all right, yeah. Let me try to see what else is going on, very quickly on this stream. So. The last thing I want to talk about is DeFi. Let's touch upon this subject very quickly. So I'm back to really taking a big look at DeFi. I see the DeFi narrative becoming a lot stronger. So something that I'm looking at yet again is farming. One of my friends taught me this trick. So if you actually look at Boxmining Plus or Boxmining Testnet, you probably have to search it with Testnet. But we did a stream today with Justin. It was kind of just a practice stream to see what's going on camera, test everything. But something that he was showing me, which is quite interesting, is that he's using Beefy to do research on what is good for farming these days. And some of the farming APYs are actually getting very strong. So say, for example, on Arbitrum, there's an Arb ETH pool that has 369 APY, right? So I'm back to doing research at night, which is yet again one of these reasons why I'm doing these live streams now, because I feel like we'll research together, let's learn together. If you guys see any good farms out there as well, it's actually good to I would love to hear what your thoughts about these are, because I feel like this is a case where I want to see what else is out there. I'm collecting more data, and I'm also starting to deploy into DeFi. Why I haven't been super aggressive in decentralized finance, because you guys probably know that I was like ultra aggressive with DeFi in 2020, which is where I made, quite frankly, a majority of my money, because I remember Wi-Fi. That was being insane, right? So why that is the case is because back in the day we had we had like 4-digit APYs, right? Like when DeFi first started, we had 4-digit APYs, and they were giving us coins, and these coins were pumping, right, man? Remember YFI? The price of YFI started at like 100, and then it moved up to 1,000, and then it moved to 60,000, right? Like it surpassed Bitcoin in terms of price per YFI. So right now, the APYs are going back, right? So why I didn't go as aggressive is because the APY just fell down and the risk increased because there was just more people learning to hack DeFi. But now what I do see is that these APYs are going up, and then projects are much more fortified now against hacks, which is actually showing a little bit of strength. So like say for example, Thorchain, we're looking at that, and they're being trying to be insured for all of their farms. So that's actually showing a lot of strength right now. So anyways, guys, we got millionaire bosses. I'm new, liked and subscribed finally. Thank you guys. And guys, if you're new and coming in, make sure you smash up the like button and the subscribe button. It really does help this channel. I'm streaming a lot more. I know I used to stream like every single day. I'm streaming a lot more recently, so it really does help because I'm getting back into live streams. It really does help if you guys smash up those likes and subscribe to this channel. So let's just do some replies. Let's see what else everyone is posting up. Support Zindagi Photo says support an OG crypto YouTuber. Hit that like. Thank you. HV says cake is a disaster. Advertising 10,000, you end up with 5% after minus 90%. So yes, cake after a while was not good. But remember when cake first launched and it was like 30 cents, and then we were just farming up like mad, and then it pumped to like $9. It was insane. Those were the crazy days, right? That you were getting APY, and then the coins were just pumping. So it depends on what time and what time frame you went in. A lot of people might be salty from DeFi because they came in a little bit late. But if you were early, if you were watching this channel and you got into the crazy stuff that we went into, it was asymmetrical rewards. I can tell you that. Asymmetrical rewards. Stream like HV says stream like Ivan with screen on what you're talking about. Yes, I'm trying to figure out how to stream a little bit better, guys. So it's with screen on what I'm talking about. Don't I have that already? I have this on the side, right? So yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to move things up a little bit. Also, I'm trying to get another screen here. Back in the day, basically having 2 monitors really helps with streaming. I'm using a laptop and a monitor right now, and it's hard, guys. So anyways, we're coming to the end of the stream. I do want to make all these streams can't really pronounce at night, but I want to make these streams around 30 minutes or less. One point of data I want to show you guys is that this is the Defi Llama, and it's really good to use Defi Llama to track how much money is being locked on each chain, and you can see that diversification going on. So before we have huge Ethereum dominance, but then recently we're seeing more and more different chains come up, right? This is the multi-chain world, and that's good. And you can actually see a lot of layer 2s gaining popularity as well. And this is something I really want to see, because one of the things that really stopped DeFi in its tracks was what's expense. Right, it got to a point where it costs $300 to do a single transaction on Ethereum. So that just wasn't worth it. And see, this is how crazy things got in 2021 and 2022. That explosive growth in value locked in DeFi, man. The second wave coming for DeFi will make this look puny. Right, and what we do need is we need faster blockchains. Layer 2 is a good start for this, but also DeFi focused chains, because we know how powerful DeFi, this new decentralized banking can be. I think when you guys saw it with me, I think we experienced the power, the sheer strength of DeFi for the first time. Basically, having the ability to replace exchanges. Right, then replacing banking products and doing this in a transparent fashion, and the ability for a protocol or just any concept to get millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars into the protocol in a snap of essentially a finger. Those were insane times, and that goes to show how fast DeFi can move. And like I was stunned by that, guys. I hope you guys were stunned too. But when DeFi kicks up and spins up, that is going to be insane. We still haven't seen that yet. We still have not seen that, right? This uptick, barely anything in terms of TVL. What I want to see is this line moving all the way up to maybe 150 billion to 300, maybe 600 billion dollars. That is when the massive, um, that is when the massive DeFi wave will hit. We'll talk a little bit more about what's happening, but recently I've been accumulating a lot more altcoins for this. I feel like this is one of the biggest opportunities for us to get in before the second wave comes. Once the second wave for Bitcoin comes, I am gonna be scared. I don't think I'm ready, guys. I honestly, I said that last stream too. I don't think I'm ready, guys. I don't think I'm ready for how crazy this is. And I hope you guys are in. That's why I'm trying to make more live streams and just strap myself in because, guys, it's gonna be crazy. Zendagi says, bro, next stream, check Alpaca if you have time. Absolutely. I'm checking up everything these days. All right, Sal Money says, I'm in from you. You sold my company a house, invested everything in this bear, and moved to Caribbean to live rent free at my mom's. LOL. All right, that is very aggressive. For me, I'm definitely not as aggressive as you are. I still have enough money for a massive runway if something does happen. So this is just for me, for my own safety. I realize that as I get older, I can't YOLO and crazy as that much. But that being said, I have a huge exposure to crypto. Right, huge exposure. So yeah, it just depends on your risk profile. I was actually answering risk profile questionnaires. It's actually quite interesting how they structure those. But anyways, HV says HKBT C ETF for retail when. So they started commenting on that. We're gonna have a video discussing. We actually sent a researcher to research what actual kind of groundworks they've done for that ETF. So the latest reason why people were talking about that ETF is because the CEO of the Securities and Futures Commission, she came out in Hong Kong. She came out to say that yes, they are actively considering an ETF, and that's really good news because when the commissioner comes out, that's that usually means things are close to being done. So we have a whole report on that piled up. So make sure you come up and stay tuned for our upcoming videos. There's going to be a lot, guys. There's going to be a lot. Just one last comment as well. If you guys are interested and you guys want to support this stream, we do have an exclusive offer for Bybit. So Bybit, they have a it's not five. So I can't. I need to see. They have 3 iPhone 15 Pro Max. That's a titanium model being given away. This is exclusive to my channel. So basically, we can do a draw once this is done. And I know some channels they might have something similar, but we haven't drawn ours yet. So if you guys want to get in on it, make sure you click the link down below. So there's a link. If you look at the descriptions, there's a link here, or there's a link down in the comment section below. I'll always put this up, and if you use that one and it says join Boxmining on Bybit, you'll see this giveaway for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. All you have to do is deposit 100 USDT and make one trade. That's all you have to do to qualify, and then we do the draw on live, and Bybit sponsoring that. So yeah, that's going to be super exciting for you guys. Lastly, of course, something that's interesting, I just want to follow up on this video. So last video we talked about trading bots. I just want to give you guys a quick update on these trading bots because they've been doing some interesting plays. Let me just throw it up on the screen. So this is the analytics for the trading bots that I'm running. There's quite a few bots that's being run. But what's kind of interesting that you probably didn't see in the last video is that there were days that the bot does well, and then there were days that it doesn't do well. So let's say this is the last 30 days, and this is the cumulative profit or loss. So what happens is that on some days it has really good trading days and it makes profit, but on some days it makes massive losses. right? But overall, the net is positive. And the way that it's set up is that I have multiple bots. So if you just look at analytics right now, I actually have 7 bots running. And then some of them are raking it, like this one, AI003, that bot is raking it. But other bots can lose, right? And this is something that's quite interesting with trading bots because they take signals from the market and they can interpret it in different ways. And some of them will make good trades. Some of them will make losing trades. And currently, it's a little bit bearish. So currently, the bots have I actually saw previously just before the stream went live, it had 2 shorts open in terms of positions. But I think it just closed one of them to take the profit. So it really depends on what signals these bots are seeing. But because they're automated, they're not motivated by emotion. So this hopefully answers a question of like why get bots, right? So someone actually commented on that video. Well, over the last 60 days, you were trying these bots, right? You performed around 10-15%, which is around what the market performed. But what's interesting about these bots is that they have a different risk profile from my own manual trading, right? So this just provides another source of income that has a different risk profile. That means I'm not putting all my eggs in one single basket, right? It allows me to diversify my risk. So even if the market moves down and sideways like today, right, it can still profit today, which is quite interesting. So I mean, I think that was quite interesting to just account for and just to play. So even though I'm massively bullish, some of the spots could be buying shorts, right? Which means that they can move and make money in different ways. So I hope that answers your question. I wanted a different risk profile for what's happening. And if you guys want to just dive a little bit deeper into trading bots, I do have a whole video about setting these up and like why I started getting to trade bots, what I'm expecting to do, and of course how do you set that up with the exchanges in mind. And of course, this is like full disclosure, this is made by a friend that I met, and he was so passionate about it, which is why I got into this. One of the reasons why I got into it, and realized, okay, I can comfortably put this part of my portfolio and start increasing the amount I put into this, because I feel like, oh yeah, it does have a different risk profile from what I have. And the fact that I'm running different bots with different strategies also kind of diversifies and also controls the risk I take here. So anyways, the Dagi photo says trading bot is cool, but I only do a small allocation, which is exactly what I'm doing here. I'm just basically showing you guys the data, and basically I have 60 days of data. I don't have a massive 1 year of data for this yet. I'm still playing around with it, but I thought it would be kind of cool to show you guys the progress on that. But if you guys want to see the full video on that, that was my previous video on trading bots. It looks a little bit like I put my douchey face on there. It's largely in part because I kind of saw another successful video with the same style, so I was like, you know what? Let's not innovate too much here. Let me just make one that looks pretty much similar to someone else's stuff. So that was that. And then lastly, of course, if you guys are interested into additional content that's a little bit crazy, a little bit more wild, there's Boxmining Plus. It's also called a Boxmining Testnet. This is a place for a different set of content, I would say. And yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. I'll put that on Boxmining Plus. Make sure you join, and then there we go. HV says, Michael, just hodl, don't get into bots, bro. Hodl didn't work for me. Like I'll be honest with you, if I hodled, I wouldn't have made I would have missed out on DeFi. Like a lot of people told me to just hodl, right? Just hodl Bitcoin or just hodl Ethereum. Don't touch other things. Don't touch altcoins. Don't touch X, Y, and Z. That didn't work for me, honestly. There was this crazy debate I had with Tone Vase. All right, all the way early into crypto, because he's a big Bitcoin maxi, right? So I was like actually quite into the maxi circle, and their philosophy was just hodl, right? Just hodl Bitcoin. Everything else is a scam. Don't touch that stuff. I would have missed out on so many 100x's. I would have missed out on so much potential if I didn't touch that. And I think that's one of the ways I'm viewing trading friends actually opened my eyes to how powerful trading tools are, and then of course trading bots are. And I feel it's one of the things that you must really learn. It's yeah. Otherwise, it's uh, I would say it's depressing. I would say because like setting up these things in the bear really helped by diversify my income stream. And that was really important to me. That was really, really important to me. So, anyways, thank you, Angela Wang, for posting up that video. I appreciate the advice, though. I appreciate your advice, HV. But that one track didn't work for me. What really works is burst trying many things and then very quickly adapt and adjust, right? That worked super well in every single bull run. It wasn't about sticking to one idea, one concept, right? It was about every time something new pops up, oh, DeFi popped up, let's go straight into DeFi. And there's so many people who warn me about DeFi. By the time that they freaked out and got into DeFi, it was too late. For me, going in early was an advantage. So, anyways, Andy one says meme coin, pump. Um, yeah, dude, meme coins are going insane. HV says if you can sell the top, sure, but who can? It wasn't even about selling top. It was like every time something 3x, I just sold my initial capital, and then like, wow, it's insane, man. It is insane. Yeah, so anyways, meme coin pump. It's definitely meme coin season. We need to really start talking about that. Also realize that on this stream, my color doesn't look nearly as good as on my screen. So actually, before I go, let me ask you this question, guys. Chat, please answer me this question. So I'm gonna put my window here. I'm gonna turn off my LUT. All right, edit filters. I'm gonna turn off the LUT. Do you guys like this look better? Like this was a more vivid color. That one looks like a little bit muted and muddy. Previously, let me turn it back on. So this is muted and muddy, but it looks stylish, right? It's kind of got this like kind of like teal, orange kind of vibe to it. Or do you prefer this kind of more radiant color? Guys, type a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Box fan says, "Good luck avoiding bots in this AI world." God, AI is insane. It's nuts, guys. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. We're gonna say peace out, and we're gonna let you go. But make sure you all subscribe to Boxmining here, and you click the notification. I know I do these random streams at this time now, and this is not a usual time for me to stream, but if you guys are interested to watching at this time, do tell me as well, and do tell me which one. Box fan says either looks fine as long as the sound is clear. I do I cannot speak properly, but I do feel like I want to improve the audio. This is why I also have a new arm. You guys noticed the new arm today? There's a new arm here. I'm trying to make the audio a little bit better. This room is like the acoustics in this room is really weird. But I'll try to make it a little bit better. And Zadagi Photo says the natural color, to be honest. Have a good one, bro. Thanks for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. There is just so much going on. There's 3 reasons why crypto is going to move up. I know there's a possibility of a little bit of a pullback, but this is why, like for me, I'm just like dollar cost averaging, and also into alts as well. I see a huge potential for alts, especially for alts that haven't moved up. They've been basically proving themselves to have a huge potential. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We'll see you next stream. Make sure you're subscribed, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you sign up for Buyback Exchange. Why not? HV says just show the screen you are looking at. Absolutely, and I'll have another screen here to monitor everything that is going on. HV says stream like Ivan on Tech. I will